Okay, this is how I expect papers to be turned in whenever you turn in a piece of binder paper for an assignment. And first of all, please notice that in the upper right hand corner, you will find your first and last name. I know some of you really are going to be annoyed by that, but you'll need to get used to putting your first and last name on papers you turn into high school because your teachers will have more than 100 students, and there's a good possibility that someone else will have your name. You also need to put in the class, whether for me it's E1. You don't have to write English 1 or English 2 or History 1 or History 2. You can shorten them. I accept E1, E2, H1, and H2. Date can be written in this format. That's fine. And then if you're turning in some kind of paper that you've been doing some writing on, or if it doesn't have any kind of a title, make sure you give it that title. And then if you look at my writing here, I do expect you to indent your paragraphs, all right, when you're writing essays and such. And while you're doing any writing, even if it's first draft kind of things, try to get in the habit of skipping lines. I have put here that, yeah, it's annoying, but there's a purpose for it, and primarily it's so that you can go back and edit things later on. You might want to write some stuff down in between these lines, and it's just a lot easier than trying to jam it over in the margins, all right? If you're turning something in that's been handwritten, it does need to be done in pen. Blue or black ink is all that's acceptable. And finally, this is the one thing you get to make up your mind. If you want to write on both sides, I'll leave that entirely up to you. And then a couple notes about doing things on Google Docs, because a lot of assignments I'm going to allow you to do on Google Docs. And I know some of you are savvy enough to realize there's different degrees to which you can share them with me. You might allow me to just see them, you might allow me to comment, or you can possibly even allow me to edit them. There's going to be times where I'm going to require specific ownership in some of the things you turn in, but if I don't, and you don't want me to make any comments, that's going to be fine, but do make sure you include your first and last name, your class, and your date somewhere on that Google Doc, because I always have students turning them in electronically, and once I print them, if I ever need to print them, I don't know who they belong to. I can tell when they're on the computer who they came from, but just remember, put your first and last name, class, and date on the Google Docs document as well.